What's up, and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Courtney, hello. We're back for another week. Love Island is done. How are you feeling? Are you okay?
Maddison, hi community. I want to let everyone know that I'm not okay. I'm suffering, in fact. One, my eyes are watering, and two, I think I'm crying because Love Island is over. And let me tell you something. Shout out to the queen, Leah. Leah Maddison Thee Hill is the queen of Love Island US. When this young lady got out and revealed that she was a Swiftie girl, she's on there, got that good Charlie XCX featuring Lord remix playing. I said, Leah, you did your big one, Leah. You did your big one. She's going to know what I'm talking about when she hears that. Leah, you did your big one, girl. I'm obsessed with her. Greatest.
Courtney was like, I have found my girl to support, and it is Leah. Were you happy that, I know Cordell won, right?
Serena and Cordell won, Maddison.
Okay, are we happy?
Madison, this was, when I tell you, this is what reality TV is made of. We start off kind of like not really knowing who to root for. Like, yeah, Cordell's a little young, he's fun, he's goofy. But as the show progresses, you really start to see this boy evolve into a man. When he went to Casa Amor and truly almost messed it all up with Miss Daya, girl, and came back and Serena read him his rights, girl. Madison, it was almost like a it was like a scripted movie when he came back to Casa Amor with that young lady and Serena was like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, Madison, it was so good. They were the true winners. Outside of Janae and Kenny, who we also love, shout out to my girl Janae and Kenny, Serena and Cordell were just, I couldn't picture a better ending.
Okay, well then that's amazing. I feel like the right people won. I also saw, because I know somebody worked on it, he posted a statistic. I think Peacock clocked in that Love Island had like over 1 billion streams. I mean, this season just freaking, Ariana has a check for life. She will be
reunion coming.
Is she going to host the reunion?
Reunion, yes. Reunion coming next month. And Madison, I want to say, I don't believe that this is the last we're going to see of this cast. Love Island has found...
interesting.
I think Love Island has found what I would like to call their Jersey Shore cast. I don't want this to be like the last we see of them. They at the end it said the end with a question mark. Okay, girl, that means we need an official Peacock PPG. That's Leah, Serena, and my girl Janae. We need the PPG podcast. We need them to be in another villa house without the dating game show format. We need these people again, and we will have them. That's my.
Could you do like a Love Island All-Stars situation, or is that not? Would that not work?
It would be sad to see them again in a Love Island format because then that means they all broke up.
Okay. So we don't want that. Just kidding. I take that back. We take that back. We do not claim.
One last thing, Madison, is so there's a young man on Love Island who was my personal favorite, also classified as the villain. His name is Kendall, and Kendall had a very revealing video leaked to the public the day of the finale.
Like a Drake kind of video, or?
It was the other side.
Oh, okay.
He was exercising his bottom, and we all had to see. And I just want to say that he handled that situation with such grace. He released a very, a statement that was very like on brand for him. He loves everyone, even the nasty people like him. And what, Kendall, you may have a million haters, but I am not one of them.
I was going to say, it sounds like Courtney is not one.
No, I support. He was messy as hell, Madison, and I supported every last shenanigan.
Well, he gave good reality TV, a leaked video on the finale. What? The fact these people didn't have their phones, now that I know they don't let them have their phones, and coming out and all of this ish is happening for you all at once, and people are viewing it all at once. Wow. So, even if he's the villain, we'll give him a skosh of grace.
A
it sounds
Scotia
like.
place. He's got to be back on TV too. We need Kendall.
Okay, we need him. We need him. The other thing, Courtney, big news, just because we obviously got to see Inside Out 2 before everybody else did. I love how we're going from Love Island to Inside Out 2 on our little quick sips because that's just the definition of us. Messy, but we also live for a Disney Pixar moment. You know what I mean? Yes. It has officially outperformed Frozen 2, which Frozen was like the girl. What do you think? I think it was so good.
I thought Inside Out 2 was amazing. I think the fact that it really resonated with adults as well as children really solidified its place in history. And you know what? I was a big Frozen fan. I'm still a big Frozen fan. I haven't seen the sequels, though, to be honest. But I love Frozen, but I'm not surprised that Inside Out 2 took the crown.
No, I'm obsessed. It was so good. Again, everyone knows I cried, I laughed. Iconic. Iconic, if you will. But Courtney, should we go ahead and get into the tea?
Yes,
I feel like we have a lot of good tea to discuss.
A little coffee.
Oh, I've already had 2 cups, so I had to start hydrating.
Not 2 cups.
Alrighty. Okay, we're starting off strong talking about Miss Ice Spice and her Rolling Stone article and interview. She addresses a lot of things during this interview, but the one that we obviously are most concerned with is she addressed the current status of her relationship with the one and only Miss Nicki Minaj. Now, just a little reminder for everybody, earlier this year, text messages were leaked from Ice Spice's former friend. In the texts, Ice Spice is commenting on Nicki Minaj and not saying the nicest things regarding a business negotiation around their collab on the Barbie soundtrack. So when Ice Spice was asked about her relationship with Nicki during Rolling Stone, she said, quote, "She's busy as hell." True. I don't really think she cares about shit like that coming from a random girl. But what I said in those texts was just in a moment of frustration around contract negotiations. I could have chose different words, but at the end of the day, regardless how I felt in that moment, Nicki is still somebody I respect as an artist, and I'm always going to admire everything she's done for me and the culture. She went on to admit, we don't have the closest relationship, but we're definitely good. We're mutuals. We had smash records together. I love us together. I think the world does too. What do you think of that response, Courtney?
Girl. Now, y'all know I enjoy Miss Ice Spice. I really do love Ice Spice a lot. The leaked text message situation was super unfortunate.
Bad. I remember we talked about it. It was the barbs were done. And
the barbs
when
were and are.
Yes, they were ready to go.
So, I mean, I'll say this. It's very interesting that Ice decided to clear this up the day before her album comes out. The internet is out there for a reason. This was months ago, and I feel like there could have been some sort of clarification right on the spot. But she chose a Rolling Stone article during the promotional period of her album to sort of address it. And so my heart says, forgive young Annie. My mind says it's strategy. And I hate
calculated.
That. It's calculated. I hate that.
I agree, because to me, I'm like, if you genuinely have respect for somebody and you hope to at one point work with them again, this should have been cleared up when the texts were leaked to say, you guys, that was in a moment of frustration. It was business. I was fighting for, my role in this. Waiting until months later and to do it in a format that people can't directly respond to you. Obviously, people can talk about it and can tweet about it and whatever. But, when you post it on Instagram, you're getting you're hearing from people. You're getting it out as soon as possible. I also want to believe it's for the best, but I think if you really genuinely respect somebody as a person, an artist, what they've done for you, what they've done for the culture, you would have addressed it immediately because you would not want that to linger. But I do agree that Nicki doesn't care.
I don't think Nicki really cares. And I also want to say, stop saying stuff like that in text messages. You just don't know who you're going to be friends with tomorrow and where those feelings could be shared. And, in this case, it was the whole entire internet. So although Nicki never responded, I'm sure feelings were felt. We haven't really seen them together since. And so, let this be a lesson learned. And good luck, Miss Poopy.
For sure. I'm sure in the moment, Nicki was like, what the actual, But I'm sure now I feel like Nicki's going to hear her addressing this and being like, too little, too late. Like, it's done. It's done.
Old news at this point. Good luck with your album. And do we think I want to also, before we move on, I want to say this. It's very interesting that she wanted to make sure that she smoothed things over with the Barbs in this article, while also simultaneously mentioning that Taylor Swift is like her closest celebrity friend, and she's her bestie, and whatever. Trying to garner the sympathy and the support
of the Swifties.
Yeah.
Even though I think it's funny because typically Swifties and Barbs get along, like for the most part, because Taylor and Nicki have been nothing but respectful of one another. And they both have fought so hard for artists' rights when it comes to streaming. So I do think it's almost like an oxymoron. And I don't think she realizes the hypocrisy that she's speaking in this interview. You know what I mean? Because if you were really on the internet, you would know.
Exactly. Girl, it's all strategy, but we're going to find out next week when them numbers come out, whether the strategy worked or not.
I have a feeling the Barbs are people who do not let go easily, as the Swifties also don't let go easily. So I think it'll be, she can praise Taylor all she wants in an interview, but the Swifties are going to need you to, they love to see the support in front of their eyes.
Only time will tell, and
Time will
like
tell.
I said, good luck, and I hope the music is good, honestly.
You know what, Courtney? I feel like you did somewhat genuinely mean that.
I did. Maddison, I'm going to listen to Miss Y2K. I'm going to play the Y2K album and pray. Because at least then I can come up here and say, I disagree with, her decisions, but at least the music was good.
Yes, and you always do put the music first. You have to admit, Courtney always puts the music first.
I try.
I know. Now, someone who I don't think I'm ever going to be able to look at the same ever again, Courtney, can we talk about the explosive Billy Ray Cyrus tea that happened this week? I still am mind-boggled that we're here. So,
Madison, throw him away.
I know. It's the pigtail braids. I've been saying we should have never trusted that man. When
oh
he
my
started
God,
rocking
please.
Those. That's when he started going down, down, and down. So the Daily Mail, you guys, obtained audio of a heated exchange between Billy Ray Cyrus and his soon-to-be ex-wife, Fire Rose. They're in the midst of a very, very toxic, contentious divorce. They were only married 7 months, but this divorce feels like it's going to be one of those that drags on longer than the marriage just because they are at each other's throats that much. In this audio that the Daily Mail obtained, you guys, it sounds like they're having an argument over like Billy Ray needing to leave for something, a performance, event, appearance, whatever. He's late and he is taking it out on Fire Rose. He's calling her an effing idiot, an effing B. He thought she was smart, but he was effing wrong. She's effing stupid. He was saying his anger has nothing to do with her BRCA or her surgery because that's something she's claiming in the divorce. She's saying, he filed this divorce so he didn't have to pay for my double mastectomy because I have the BRCA gene. All of these things. He just was going at her and it was really bad. And I feel like it definitely backed up her accusations of verbal and emotional abuse. At one point, though, and this is where the Miley headline you guys are seeing is coming in. I'm sure everyone at this point has seen the headline. Billy Ray Cyrus seemingly calls his daughter Miley Cyrus a skank. This is where this comes in. The audio at one point cuts to almost a different conversation, or unless Billy Ray had something. Either way, he starts talking about himself in third person, and he's like, she had 2 babies before Billy Ray. She had 2 kids, 2 different baby daddies before Billy Ray, talking about Fire Rose. Then he goes on to reference his kids, and he names all of his kids by name except for Miley. When he gets to where Miley is in line, he's heard saying, quote, everyone knows Devil's a skank. It's unclear if he's referring to Miley or Tish, but the consensus is Miley. Courtney, before I get to the leaked text message that the Daily Mail also obtained, I'm just curious what your thoughts were on this audio, the tea, him possibly calling Miley these names. Like, where do you feel about this?
Maddison, throw Billy Ray in the garbage. First of all, You talking to Tish like that?
I agree. I'm like, even if it is about Tish, that's still bad in my opinion. It's still the mother of your children.
I'm not talking about the devil comment. I'm just saying in terms of raising your voice, swearing, and all of that. Was you yelling at Tish like that back in the day?
I mean, she said there were some contentious things.
Girl, Billy Ray, it's a shame, Maddison, when someone that's a legend and an icon is sort of outed as being like trash. It reminds me of like Hulk Hogan. Like, you know, for those of y'all that don't know, the wrestling girlies. Hulk Hogan's like, you know, our all-American wrestler, and then he basically was heard calling his daughter Brooke Hogan's boyfriend the N-word, because we know Brooke Hogan loved her a black man. And you know, it reminds me of that.
Show. Remember the reality
Oh God,
show?
Brooke knows best, girl. Ooh, I wanted to be friends with Miss Brooke, girl, and she had the good music. Ooh, I need to note that for my TikTok series.
Yes.
Miss Brooke Hogan had the hits. But you know, it's unfortunate, and I think that Billy Ray, it's gonna be hard for you to come back from this, in my opinion.
I agree, especially because I've been following this divorce. I am clocked in. I am loaded. I am like, I will be following this till they sign the paperwork. But it's crazy because she actually alleged problematic behavior first, and then he came back and said, "No, actually, I'm the victim of abuse, and she's been acting this way towards me." And I'm like, now after this audio, I think it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And to me, a lot of people have been pointing out, you know, that he married her. She's so much younger. That's what you get for marrying somebody your daughter's age. Okay. But still, nobody deserves to be spoken to like this. And as a woman, obviously, but also just as a human, when I listened to that audio, Courtney, my heart was just in my stomach. Like, it just makes you feel icky that a husband would talk to his wife like that. Another human would talk to another human like that. Like, I agree with you. He has always publicly perceived himself to be this all-American dad. You know, he's a Southern dad. He's just there for his kids. And it's like, oh no, you're actually an absolute asshole. Excuse my French. He is.
Maddison, here's the thing. You know where my mind goes is like, this year has been a lot about, this year in terms of celebrities has been a lot about pulling the curtain back and revealing the true characters of these men. Girl, who next? Because it seems like they all trash.
Literally, I feel like especially in the music industry, like the Me Too movement definitely covered actors, producers, directors, a lot of those Hollywood elites. But this year, I really feel like it's been the music industry people who are fine. I don't want to say finally, but it's just like, you're right. They're being exposed. And, you know, if Billy Ray was saying that about Miley, I think good thing she doesn't talk to him. Good thing she didn't thank him in the Grammy speech. I wouldn't deal with him either. I wouldn't want anything to do with him. And also, I find it ironic because Miley's the only reason why the younger generation even knows who the hell you are. The only reason
that's actually the tea.
He's getting a check at all, or anyone even knows who he is, younger than the age of 35. I mean, we're like music people, so I feel like we know a one-hit wonder, we know Achy Breaky Heart, but you know, I mean, truly, the only reason half of these young people know who you are, they know you as Hannah Montana's dad. They don't know you as Billy Ray Cyrus.
Maddison.
Lil Nas X, the guy who did the song with Lil Nas X. That's who you are.
Unrelated, but a little bit related. Why did I see somebody? You know how you say we only know Billy Ray as like Hannah Montana's dad? Why was I on TikTok and I saw someone playing the audio of Ariana dragging Tom, and the caption was like, "I can't believe Ariana from Love Island said this." I said, Ariana from Love Island? No, this is Ariana Madix from Vanderpump Rules, girl. You better.
Oh my God. Wait, that makes me feel old.
I gagged.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about. When she's like, "It wasn't on my phone." And she's like screaming.
Yes.
Like, "You stupid dick." And she like slams the door. Oh, an iconic scene, honestly. So good.
That's so funny
good.
To me.
Yeah, it is Ariana Madix from Vanderpump Rules, first and foremost, always and forever. Love Island is just where she goes to collect a check. That way, because she has all the lawsuits. And she looks amazing while doing it.
Oh, Tom is not suing
Ariana. Tom is not suing Ariana anymore because he claims his lawyer confused him. I still stand by everything I said in my putting it in the teapot last week because I still think he's a worm with a mustache. Which also, Billy Ray is also worming with a mustache.
A worm with a mullet.
But I have to tell you about this text message that the Daily Mail also somehow got their hands on, which I don't know who on Fiery Rose's team is exposing, but I'm loving it. So in the text, it's a group text between Billy, his publicist, and his manager. And Billy is texting them reacting to Tish's Call Her Daddy interview. Because Tish went on Call Her Daddy and kind of, to your point, exposed Billy Ray, things that happened in their marriage, whatever. So his text says, quote, somebody went on a podcast to promote their podcast and came off like, sorry, I'm drunk, and accidentally told the truth for a change. He goes on to say, it's in her own words, she's a liar, a whore, and a cheat. Complete skank, which tells me he uses that word consistently. He loves the word skank. Scum of the earth, a fraud, makes Deanna Lohan look like Mother Teresa. Step-cessed is about to blow up in this bitch's face. And the publicist responds saying truth with the 100 emoji. Now, Courtney, no one is picking up on this, but I just have to tell you, my mind is blown because he sent that text on February 25th, okay? February 27th, news breaks on Us Magazine. Sources claim Tish Cyrus stole Dominic Purcell from daughter Noah Cyrus. This man said, Step-cessed is about to blow up in her face. The publicist says truth. And then 2 days later, we get this explosive story about Tish, Noah, and Dominic, and we're all gobsmacked being like, how is this true?
Not Billy done ran to the blogs like a real housewife.
I'm like,
not
obviously that is not confirmed. That is pure speculation.
But the messiest person you know is a straight man, Maddison D. Hill. And y'all know Billy Ray took that rat tail and called TMZ or Daily Mail, whoever you called, girl, allegedly. You called the Sun, girl, allegedly. Speculation, not confirmation. And you wanted to have Tish out there looking like a fool. He wanted Tish to get dragged by Courtney and Maddison here on Toast to Tea. He said, oh yeah, they gonna whack her again. Billy, back to the swamp with your ass.
Literally. And my issue is, Noah had to have told him that in confidence. Like, Tish obviously didn't tell him that. Noah had to have told him that because they are close. We know she was Team Billy Ray in the divorce. And the fact that he took that information, well, he allegedly, seemingly based on this leaked text message, the dates are adding up a little too much. I wish they were not adding up this way. But there is a text from Billy Ray saying Step-cessed is about to blow up in her face, and then we get that story. And everyone wondered, where the heck did that come from? Maddison, Courtney, there's no way this is true. Do we really think this is true? There was too much information for it to too many details, too much consistency for it to not have some sort of truth to it. But then to see this text in black and white, Courtney, I literally, when I tell you, I read that and I was more shocked by that than him possibly calling Miley a skank. Because to me, I'm kind of like, we expect that behavior from a trash man. But then to also leak such a wild story about your own kid, unforgivable.
Billy Ray Cyrus think that he's Billy Ray the Skank Slayer.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why a man would be so vindictive.
To your own children.
It's something involving it's involving your children. Why would you be so vindictive? What does that do for you? Like, taking down your ex-wife in this way, like, what does that do for you? He should have moved on and truly found love, but it's clear he has some demons he needs to work on, and he need an exorcism. Billy Ray, I think you need an exorcism.
He needs a lot of things.
It's giving demonic. I don't like it, y'all. It's giving 666 over there. Someone need to pull on that rat tail. It's not looking good.
I don't even know how you get this low. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping he's on a substance or something.
Not you called him a low down dog.
He is. I mean, I'm just like, I truly, don't you feel like you're rarely shocked by anything a celebrity does these days? Like, it really takes a lot to, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm surprised, but it really takes a lot to almost have me speechless. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, when I heard this audio and read that text, I was like, Billy Ray's the one who's going to stump me? That makes me feel like an idiot, but also just like, because you would never expect a father to go this low. and X to go this slow. I agree. I don't know what he is hung up on ruining Tish's life, and it's like, you're embarrassing.
You'd be surprised at like what people think that, like what people will do when they think they can get away with it, or that the news will never come out, you know?
That's true. And yeah, I don't know.
It's
Again,
out.
I don't know who Fire Rose has on her team, but good for you, honestly. Like, good for you, girl.
She's saying when her single come out.
I've been, judging her by her name for a little bit, but like, girl, you are coming with a vendetta, and like, I respect the level of petty. You know,
that's Water Tulip.
When you're dealing,
that's Water Tulip. Come on, Water Tulip, now sing a song.
She needs to expose him even more.
Low Down Daddy, the single from Water Tulip, next Thursday.
Thank God. Okay, wait, there you go. And we want 10%. We want 10%, just saying.
Oh, yes. I laughed because I saw Young Sweet Ro on my Instagram the other day.
Oh, Young Sweet Ro.
That brought back so many good memories. I said,
so many good memories. TBT. Wow. What a time in our lives. I live for it. Courtney, let's also move on and talk about Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay.
I know. She is going to get a documentary. Oh! Rock Nation and Time Studios, they're coming together. They're going to do a documentary about Megan's life. It's going to give viewers an intimate perspective into her life, career, starting from her upbringing in Texas, obviously chronicling her career milestones. It's going to have a mix of like her old footage, obviously, fresh video. It's going to highlight everything. It says... This Time Studios co-head says the series will give her a chance to share her truth as never before. Are we interested? What are we hoping to see? Are we hoping we're going to see some stuff with the Tory Lanez situation? Where do we even want this right now? I feel like we're like inundated with artist documentaries that sometimes I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want every single artist to have a documentary, but what do you think?
Here's the thing. I think it's great for like super fans of Megan Thee Stallion. I fear that she is, she's been overexposed for me, but I think that it's just a lot. Like the album, and then the album was like whatever, and like, we have a documentary coming. She's in Japan shooting the music video for Mamushi ... I think is the name of the song. And I think, I don't want to be rude, but I'm just not so sure I care right now at this point. And I think it's because I'm not in love with the music.
That's kind of how I feel too. I guess I just kind of feel like you're right. If you are obsessed with Megan Thee Stallion, you probably are curious. I feel like I know enough about her upbringing that I respect everything she went through. I respect she went to school still while trying to get her career going. Obviously was close with her mom. I respect all of that, and I give her the props for all of that. I just don't know if necessarily I'm like counting down the days to stream this. You know what I mean? Like I am more ready for 50 Cent to put out his documentary on Netflix exposing Diddy. Now that's counting down the days, dying to see.
You know what, Maddison? What I think I would be interested in from this documentary, I want to see the transformation from Megan, and this is not to be funny, but I really want y'all to visualize this. I want to see the transition between when Megan was dressing like a WWE wrestler and doing the drive the boat thing. And remember when she was like making out with like G-Eazy and stuff? And we were like, what is going on with her? I want to know what the wake-up call for her was when then she started to switch, like maybe right before the Tory stuff. Like, what was that wake-up call like? Remember she was like twerking with Lizzo and kind of like she had the weird wigs. What was that wake-up call and evolution? Like, how did we get, what made you wake up? That's what I'm interested in, I think, honestly.
And maybe they'll cover that, but it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like that's really...
That's a tea thing.
Yes, I think it's more... It's just going to be like this...
I grew up in Texas.
And I did XYZ, and then now here I am. It's definitely going to be, I feel like, not giving us the tea and the nitty-gritty, which is...
I don't think lady rapper documentaries are special anymore.
They've been overdone, you mean?
I think so. And this is not from like a bar perspective, but maybe it is. I just remember like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 13, whatever, that Nicki's My Time Now documentary,
Mm-hmm.
that's like a sit in front of the TV moment. And the reason
Mm-hmm.
why is because there weren't a lot of artists doing the documentaries. Sure, we had Making the Video and little things like
Yeah,
that. But I
behind the
think back then,
music.
behind the music, those things were special. But it
Mm-hmm.
feels like, we just got a documentary from JT, who y'all know I love. But like, I don't know. It doesn't really feel special to me anymore. But it'll
I
be good for
agree.
people that maybe want to get to know her
It's
a
just
little bit
like
better.
J-Lo had one, Demi's had 3, Justin Bieber has had 3 as well. Like, I don't know. And I know Taylor Swift has one, so people are going to be like, are you going to say Taylor's is overrated, Maddison?
Yeah.
Obviously, I loved Miss Americana, but again, that Miss Americana came out how many years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've had a lot. And even now, Taylor could have done a whole Behind the Eras tour. Look at me.
Yeah.
She didn't do that. If anyone notices, she literally just said, I know tickets are expensive as hell, and there's a lot of Swifties who didn't get to experience this. Let's put a whole show on Disney Plus so people can experience it at home. She could have easily, do you know how she could have easily done a whole documentary of her prepping for the Eras tour, following her, doing all that, and she didn't do that.
Yeah. It kind of comes off as a cash grab, but like,
It does.
who doesn't want to check, right? If we were Megan, we would want to check.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I can't wait for the documentary about our life. It's going to be
Bruh.
so fascinating.
Lordy, imagine
Just
that.
everyone get ready, prepare.
The sitcom.
The sitcom, starting the days from a cracked desk
Literally.
to cracked desk to millionaires. I'm manifesting. I can't wait till we get our first million. It's going to be amazing.
Love that.
Speaking of things that, I don't know, some people are going to find amazing, some people are not going to find amazing. Hailey Bieber, Courtney, get ready for this one. Because I know now that a lot of, older people have found us in the community, some of you I know pointed this out already, and I was giggling at the mess, but I also respect it. So her interview and cover with W Magazine came out the day after Selena's birthday. And a lot of people pointed out that timeline to me, and I saw it, but I'm trying to mature. But no, I noticed. But she, in this interview, talked about her pregnancy, her relationship with her family, and of course, as she always does, her marriage to Justin. So she discussed the pregnancy stuff was, I would say mostly light. She did say she's scared reading all of, the crazy things we read about pregnancy and birth stories and all of that. I feel her on that. It's a lot on social media. But she also shared, she didn't show her pregnancy with the world until she was 6 months pregnant, because that's when her belly really started to show. She was very small in the beginning. She said she didn't want to hide her pregnancy because she didn't want to keep a secret. She wanted to live her life outwardly. She said, whatever the baby wants, that's what she eats. All of that is great. We love that she didn't hide it. We love that she is choosing to live outwardly. But she also, Courtney, subtly responded to all the speculation about her and Justin's marriage. Of course. Again. She said, quote, "People have made me feel so bad about my relationship since day one. Oh, they're falling apart. They hate each other. They're getting divorced. It's like people don't want to believe that we're happy." She went on to share that she's learned to compartmentalize the hate thanks to the help of a therapist. She said, quote, "I used to try to act like it hurt less and less. I've tried to think that you get used to it at a certain point, that this is what's going to be said and this is how people are going to be. But I realized it doesn't actually ever hurt any less." What do you think about that?
Don't you have something else to talk about? I won't even put it on Hailey. I wish that she would stop being asked about Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Because it always makes it seem like she has nothing else going on. And doesn't she have the skincare line and
yes,
the viral phone
she just
case?
Released some blush.
She got blush out. Like, girl, what else is going on? Like, how's the baby?
Yeah.
Like, girl, are you doing yoga?
Yeah.
Like, what are the classes like? I would rather read that than
I think where it feels ad nauseum is the constant addressing of the trolls and the hate. It's like every interview she says some version of the same thing of, it's been horrible. She's trying to learn how to deal with it. She knows it's going to be part of her daily life. It's all usually around the same thing. And at some point, I feel like when you continue to do this, you actually give them more fuel for their fire because they know they're getting to you. They know it's getting under your skin. And also, too, I know we talked about their rumored marital issues. I talked about it a lot on my channel, too. And a lot of the believers want to be like, don't you feel bad? Don't you feel bad? So you contributed to that. And look, and I'm like, no, I literally actually don't feel bad at all. No. Because it was consistently reported on multiple outlets. And even I know people like to discount certain outlets and put others at a higher priority, which is, I feel you. But it's like Entertainment Tonight was reporting on their issues. People was reporting on their issues. Mm-hmm. E was reporting on their issues. When they came out and did the vow renewal with the pregnancy announcement, in some way, shape, or form, every insider said they did the vow renewal because they went through a difficult chapter, and this is signifying they are ready for this new era of becoming parents, a new era in their marriage. So I don't feel bad, and I feel like she tries to have like a gotcha moment, like, don't y'all feel horrible? We are happy. We're great. And everyone is rooting against us. And it's like, I don't feel God, though. Like, marriage is hard. Marriage has ups and downs. It would be weird if you did it.
I forgot who it was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but they were like, was I red? I don't feel red.
Yeah, like, that's how I feel. Every time she does that, and everyone, there's like those few trolls who just look to me and are writing paragraphs, and I'm like, I genuinely don't feel like I did my job.
It's more like thank you for watching, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it. And I feel like we do it in a more respectful way than other people. You know what I mean? So
dragged and dragged. So, girl, we keep it real cute over here.
Exactly. And then also, too, because she sometimes talks out of both sides of her mouth, she goes on to say if a 21-year-old was sitting in front of her in a chair, she would not advise them to get married like she did at 21. But she went on to say she still thinks people should get married, and she thinks it's every individual's experience. So I'm like, girl, you basically are saying we've gone through it without saying explicitly we've gone through it. But that tells me people aren't crazy to think that you guys were going through something earlier this year.
I want to say this. Hailey, you got to stop giving the trolls life, because the more you give the trolls life, the more we'll have a story. It almost kind of sounds like she just is like saying stuff to just say stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you could just be pregnant and go away and pop back out when the baby's here. Why are you still doing interviews if it's not going to be about business? I guess is my biggest question.
No, very fair. Very fair. She did also admit to something I thought was interesting. She said she's not super close with her family right now. She's independent. She's creating her own family. Which, honestly, I will say, although we disagree with her comment about Justin, that's kind of, with her family, her dad posted that Instagram story asking for prayers for them, which caused a bunch of drama. Her sister got arrested in February for throwing her dirty tampon at a bar employee, allegedly.
Not this.
Like, I understand why you would sit back as a person and be like, I think I need some time. You know? Like, her and Miley.
The dirty tampon.
The dirty tampon, never forget. Never forget. Hailey Bieber's sister. That was all the headlines. And honestly, her and Miley, I feel like maybe can form a little club of like, our family is crazy.
Super dysfunctional.
Let's hang out.
Families.
Literally. Yeah.
I was laughing because I didn't realize that my girl, you guys know I've been watching Summer House. I had to take a little break for Love Island. But my girl, Hannah Berner, is friends with Hailey Bieber.
I know. They are very friendly.
And clearly now by proxy, because me and Hannah Berner are friends via mutual on Instagram. Now I'm friends with Hailey Bieber. You guys, I've crossed over to the other side now.
He's crossed.
Sorry, Selena, it's over. It's not. I love you, Selena. Oh my God.
Well, thank God.
Man.
Thank God, because we are talking about Selena and Benny to wrap things up, because we have some positive Selena tea. Courtney, girl is down bad, but she is not crying at the gym, okay? We have some insight into her and Benny's relationship thanks to Us Magazine. An insider said, quote, she and Benny are very serious and have talked marriage. The source noted that their romance is, quote, definitely endgame. And then they went on to say Selena is really happy and is doing really well. She feels her life is peaceful right now. I do think this is evident. She's really happy. I don't know if you saw the Instagram she posted recently. It's like a bunch of photos of her and Benny, different times of the relationship. Yeah. And she captioned those saying, thank you for sharing your life with me today and every day.
You know what video, and this might fly under a lot of people's radars, but do you know what I think so far has been like the cutest Selena and Benny moment, and it's like the most simplest video? That video of Benny having her try the watermelon
Yes.
like cheese or whatever that was sandwich, and she
Yes.
like tries and is like, "Oh, I'm good." You only gonna try something gross like that for somebody you love, period. And the fact that because he loves food and he loves to cook and et cetera, the fact that he was like sharing that with her is like an act of love. And it's like
Yeah.
the when you say it's like the little things, it's like little things like that. Like
Mhm.
this quirky ass sandwich, like girl, try it. You might like you know what I mean? I
Right.
really enjoyed seeing that silly little dumbass video. It's my favorite Senny moment.
No, I think their chemistry is so clear.
Chemistry.
The love
Yes.
they have for one another is so clear. Even that little TikTok they did of like the couples challenge and their relationship also just seems very equal, which I know obviously it's like
Yeah.
a silly TikTok couples challenge, but still it just seems very equal. And I think this is the first public relationship we've seen Selena in where she has a man who loves her out loud and doesn't care who knows it. He
Yeah.
is happy to post about her. You want to hate on him? He literally doesn't care. You want to drag him for being XYZ? Does not care. And I think he is helping her get that attitude too, because Selena gets dragged for literally breathing, which is so stupid, but she does. And I feel like his I don't give an F attitude is rubbing off on her in the best way. And she finally found somebody who can handle it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so refreshing because think about like Justin, obviously they were young, so there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of drama, whatever. The Weeknd, he still didn't quite, yes, they walked the Met Gala red carpet together, but we didn't see him talking about bringing her food. We didn't see him posting her in this way. We didn't see him saying, "I love you, baby," on Instagram. We didn't see any of that. And not that that makes a healthy relationship, because I do think if you overpost, you're hiding something. But I just feel like Selena has never had somebody treat her like this in a long time in an adult relationship, and you can tell it's different.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that there's a level of like comfortability that Selena probably feels just knowing that Benny is not trying to be the star. Like everyone you've mentioned previously, like, you know, she was a star with a star, a star with a star. And like Benny, if need be, is more than comfortable playing the back. And you can tell.
Yep.
And I love that because he knows that he with the star.
Exactly.
You can't outshine this. She's a superstar. So I like that he knows his role.
And it's like, maybe it's the producer in him. Like, I feel like producers know, like, yes, you contribute to the talent. Yes, they couldn't be there without you, but you don't necessarily need to be the one on the album cover. You know what you bring to the table. And I will say, at first, I feel like I was judgy of him because of like previous comments he had made in interviews. I also was like, Selena, I'm not seeing the magic. But I now get it. I watched his Architectural Digest video. My sister made me. She was like, watch this video. You will understand what Selena sees in Benny after this. And I get it. He's very quirky. He clearly cares a lot about his friends and who he brings in, because he was talking about how, like, if a friend mentions one time they like this certain liquor, he will have it at his house in the event if they come back and they want to try it again. You know, like that level of thoughtfulness, that level of attention to detail. He has his friends' artwork everywhere. I'm like, you know what? I get it. I see it.
I get it.
I get it. I take back what I said. I was judging, and I see it.
I
now.
want to reiterate that like my first Benny experience was watching him on Dave on the Lil Dicky show. And remember, I walked away from that show being like, I like him. And he was just like playing himself. He was literally playing himself. And I was like, even if that's like, I like him. And I love that like the character is translated into like this real celebrity. Like that's who he is.
Yes. Even if it was like an amped up version of him, I still think it was him. Like it's, Yes. I agree. I'm pro the situation. I hope that this is endgame for Selena. I would love to see her and Taylor have gone through such, excuse my French, shit men. I would love to see them find their happy ending at a similar time. I think that's amazing.
That's fun.
It's so fun.
Full circle moment.
Full circle moment, which I think brings us to our final segment, Courtney. And we're gonna...
Put it in the teapot.
Yes, you guys remember, please send in your put it in the teapot submissions, whatever you want to put in the teapot, whether it be personal or celebrity related. You can email us at toasttoteapot and we will read your submission on the next episode. You can also comment below on YouTube or send us a DM on Instagram. Please send us one because it's hard for me to come up with one every week.
I think that what I want to put in the teapot is the thought of not owing people anything. I think that we live in a day and age where we constantly are like ready to detach from people and say, oh, well, I don't owe them anything. Well, they don't deserve that from me. But I think that on a basic human level, you do owe people things. I think you do owe people respect. I think you do owe people on some level some sort of courtesy and positivity. I think that in terms of friendships and relationships, interpersonal relationships just in general, like you owe people communication, you owe them the conversation, you owe them the closure even. And I think that when you lack certain communication skills, you may be perceived as being selfish or not willing to give. And instead of being a giver, you're more of a taker, which isn't really a positive thing as well. So I think that we should just try to be better people, communicate better, and give them at the basic level what they deserve.
Exactly. Humans be nice to humans, and this world will get better slowly, slowly, slowly. Because sometimes I know it feels like humanity is dying. But
Worry that.
we can make a difference here on how we treat people and hope that it causes a ripple effect to others. That's what I always think about. I'm like, please just let this cause a ripple effect, please. Okay, the thing that I want to put on the teapot this week is trying to have control of everything, trying to plan everything out, trying to know what the future holds. And the reason why I'm thinking about this is because yesterday on my walk, I actually became a little emotional. You guys know I have a really good, close group of childhood friends. Courtney, you know this, and our families are all very close. And earlier this year, we all had a loss. My best friend Selena lost her dad, and it was horrible for all of us. But then last month in June, someone welcomed a baby. My friend Kelsey, her older brother, who, again, we've all been family friends for over 20 years, so we call each other family. They welcomed a baby, and I think it's just so crazy how life happens. Like this year, I literally feel like I've lived 5 lives, and it's only July. But just based on everything that's happened, but I think it's crazy that you can go through a loss, and then you can have new life, and it just goes to show that when we try to control things, we are never in control. When we try to make a plan, it's never going to work out. So sometimes, guys, I know it's hard, and I'm working on this too every single mother effing day of my life to just lean in, have faith, and give control to whatever you believe, God, universe, whatever it is. We got to lean in and give control, and life will always find a way to have a full circle moment and come out okay.
I know that's right, Grill.
Yeah, I just it's just so crazy. I was thinking about that on my walk. Also, too, just added, what's insane is this couple who just had a baby. Last year when we were at our lake trip, I was floating with his wife, Lauren, and we were talking about fertility and how difficult it was and all of these things. And literally now we're getting ready to go on this lake trip again next month, and they have a baby. And
Look at that.
We were like dreaming about it last summer, and it's just, you just gotta like lean in, have faith, and give up control, because I'm a control freak, you guys, and I'm learning that it does not, some things you just can't control.
You just can't control it, and you just gotta let it be.
I wish you could, but you can't. You know?
I know. Yeah.
But I gotta work on that, and so I'm putting that in the teapot. So
you
I can
got
keep
it, Maddison
working on
Hill.
it. So I can keep working on it. We're all gonna be better humans. That's what I think I love about community and Toasted Teapot. It's like, yes, we get into the mess, yes, we get into the tea, but we're also all out here going through life.
Yeah.
And we're trying to be better people. And that's why we love you, community. You are icons.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. You guys, thank you for hanging out with us for another episode of Toasted Teapot. Make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, notification bell, and share this video. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. And once we hit 1,000, we can do a live. So please, please, please share. Also, you guys, make sure you are subscribing to wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're listening on Spotify, don't forget that Spotify poll. Also, you guys know to follow us on social at Toasted Tea Pod. You can follow me at I am Maddison Hill 2Ds on Instagram and TikTok, and Maddison Hill 93 on Snapchat.
You can follow me at Courtney Revolution on Instagram and at Court Revolution on TikTok and Twitter and Snapchat.
Yes, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to send your put in the teapot submissions, and we'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.